Tonight on 10 at 10, Dr. Heath Burns has handed in his letter of resignation. KRBC's Ariana Lubelli speaks with locals about their suspicions on the superintendent.
Plus, where Burns went wrong dealing with allegations of improper student-teacher relationships.
And how Dyess Air Force Base is being a good neighbor to those who live around the base. Abilene's local news starts now.
KRBC, your home of Super Bowl 49. Your news in your community. This is KRBC, Abilene's local news at 10.
Good evening, I'm Randy Turner.
And I'm Dane Murray. Thanks for joining us for KRBC's 10 at 10, where you get your top stories and tomorrow's forecast all in the first 10 minutes.
Our top story tonight, Dr. Heath Burns has resigned his position as Abilene school superintendent.
I have a personnel complaint related to the performance of Dr. Heath Burns.
I thought he was a pretty good guy. I didn't know he was doing any wrong.
Do I regret that we didn't catch her on the 31st? Goodness gracious, yes.
The resignation comes after several cases involving improper student-teacher relationships within the school district. AISD employees were notified of Burns' resignation by email this morning. There is no confirmation as to why Dr. Burns resigned.
Dr. Burns released this statement saying, quote, "This morning I tendered my resignation as superintendent of the Abilene Independent School District. I wish the very best to the students and teachers of this great school district." KRBC's Ariana Lubelli has been following this story all day long. She joins us live from one AISD center in downtown Abilene.
Ariana, we heard mixed reactions from people today about Burns' resignation. Did anybody seem worried that this resignation would spark more accusations against him?
Dane and Randy, what parents had more questions and concerns about was the timing of this resignation. We spoke to parents outside Abilene High earlier today who say Dr. Burns resigning in the middle of multiple investigations within AISD makes him appear suspicious. We also spoke with others who had opposing views. They say that aside from these recent incidents, they believe Dr. Burns did a good job in his position as superintendent, and they think he did the right thing by resigning.
Knowing that there were two more cases that they haven't talked about, and then to come out and then all of a sudden just the superintendent just resigning immediately, I mean, it is just a shock, you know, what's going on.
Many parents were trying to figure out the same thing. Alleged improper student-teacher relationships, potential failure to report accusations, and now the resignation of AISD Superintendent Dr. Heath Burns.
If he knew about him, I think he should have resigned or he should have been fired, one or the other.
Parents believe that Dr. Burns' failure to immediately report accusations when he became aware of them could have potentially put their children in danger.
I should have been reported immediately.
If he didn't report them, as the accusations say, then he should have been removed at the time when the accusations were even aired.
Though parents weren't happy with the recent incidents that have surrounded Dr. Burns, aside from these investigations, some say he did a good job in his position with AISD.
I thought he was a pretty good guy. I didn't know he was doing any wrong.
Despite what some parents call suspicious about the timing of his resignation, others think he did the right thing resigning.
I think he did the right thing. He needs to be looked at for if he goes to work in another school district.
Now, most parents that we spoke with can agree upon that regardless of who's in that position, they just want to make sure that their children are safe. Reporting live outside of AISD, Ariana Lubelli, KRBC News.
Thank you, Ariana. According to Chief Stanridge, when allegations of an improper relationship between a 30-year-old teacher and a 16-year-old student occurred, Dr. Burns decided to handle the matter on his own and not contact the police.
When the accusations occurred, not only did Dr. Burns fail to include APD and Brown's initial interview, he did not file a report. According to Chapter 261 of the Texas Family Code, a person having cause to believe that a child's physical or mental health or welfare has been adversely affected by abuse or neglect by any person shall immediately make a report as provided by subchapter. It goes on to say that a professional shall make a report no later than 48 hours after abuse or neglect is suspected.
It began with this man, the former dean of Holland Medical High School, Michael Trook. He was arrested in mid-December after he admitted to having a sexual relationship with a student. Then on January 13th, Brianne Brown was arrested for sexual assault. She resigned from her position as an Abilene High School teacher days before her arrest.
On December 9th, 2009, Dr. Heath Burns was formally approved as Abilene ISD's new superintendent at a school board meeting. His first official day on the job, February 18th, 2010. Almost a year later, the AISD school board approved a contract extension for an additional year. Burns did not get a raise with the extension. In June of last year, Dr. Burns was named Regional Superintendent of the Year.
The resignation is effective immediately. President of the Abilene Board of Trustees, Dr. Danny Wheat, will hold a press conference tomorrow at 4:30 in the afternoon in the boardroom of One AISD Center.
Chief of Police Stan Standridge also released this statement on Burns' resignation, saying in part, quote, "Today I learned of the resignation of Dr. Heath Burns. I wish him and his family best wishes. AISD educators have excelled in many regards, and I am confident our collective goals continue to be a quality education in a safe environment. We are better together, and I sincerely appreciate the School Board of Trustees for their spirit of cooperation during many stressful weeks."
This is information from the Texas Association of School Administrators regarding what typically comes next after a superintendent resigns. School boards meet to formally accept the resignation. The school board appoints an interim.
School board decides how to proceed in search of a new superintendent. Superintendent and school district negotiates to determine whether or not money is owed to the former employee. This is based on a number of factors, including details of the former superintendent's contract and reasons for the departure.
To read the full statement from Dr. Burns and Chief Standridge, visit our website, bigcountryhomepage.com.